Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing your daily Walking Dead video for today, leading up to the start for The Walking Dead Season 8. For this one, I'm going to first give my thoughts on the greatest villain ever in the WalkingDead.com's poll being voted as Shane? And spoiler warning, as usual, if you are not caught up for the Walking Dead television series. So going into Season 8, we got a cool new poll. I'll put the link in the description for you guys, WalkingDead.com. Who's the best Walking Dead villain of all time? And you have a lot of, hardcore Walking Dead fans that are voting in on the poll and kind of giving their thoughts as they went down through this tournament. So we had, two sides. It comes down all in the end to Shane versus the Governor. And at time of filming right now, Shane is winning by an absolute landslide. It's like 86% for Shane right now. So if you guys haven't had a chance to vote yet, it ends May 8th, which is that's tomorrow. So if you want to vote, you'll have to do it today and give your thoughts on this one. I don't want to sway the vote, so I don't want to talk anybody into online going and voting for the Governor, because that's who Shane's up against for the finale for best villain. But you guys can vote accordingly as per. But it looks to me right now like Shane is going to win this one in a landslide. So this is how it went. You had at the left side, you had Negan and Martinez, who Negan won that one. You had Owen and Gareth, who Gareth won that one. You had Merle and Jadis, who somehow Jadis won that one. I don't know how. Maybe it's because people think of Merle more as like a good guy. You had Shane and Gorman, where Shane proceeded from there, which makes sense. Then you have Negan and Gareth, who Negan takes that one, which also I'd say makes sense over Gareth. He's way tougher than Gareth, I want to say. Jadis and Shane, and then of course Shane wins that one over Jadis. So man, this is a weird one. I almost feel like Shane's had it easy for this quarter. And then you go Negan versus Shane on that side, and you have Shane wins against Negan. So who would have thought, man? Now, maybe part of it is because Negan is new in the Walking Dead television series, and he has not been around for, all that long. And Shane is kind of one of those nostalgic characters in the series that was really impactful near the beginning and really set the pace for Walking Dead. For a lot of people, that's kind of their favorite time in Walking Dead is around Season 2's end, because one thing they did really well with that is they really showed Shane's side and his part of the battle and the struggle, his story really well, and they really got people to emotionally invest in the character, whereas maybe with Negan, him being new, at this point, people are not really feeling like he's that interesting, right? Compared to, all they did with Shane. So that could change in the future, but for now, yeah, Shane wins that side. Then the other side, you had, let's see, you had, I'm trying to read this here, one sec. You had Rick 2, not sure, Pete, and then you've got Pete winning from that one. You've got Dwight and Nicholas, and you've got Dwight winning that one over Nicholas, which makes sense. You've got the Governor and Martin, and you've got the Governor winning, also makes sense. Then you've got Simon and Officer Don, where Officer Don beats Simon. It's like, who's voting in these polls, man? And then going back up, we've got Governor versus Don, and the Governor beats Don. I mean, yeah, of course, right? I mean, obviously. And then we've got Dwight and Pete, who Pete wins that one. I think we were talking like Pete from Alexandria, probably, with him and Rick and what happened with that. Then we've got Pete versus the Governor, and the Governor wins that one. So I feel like the Governor's had a pretty easy time himself as well. So the final two, Shane and the Governor with, it looks like what's probably going to be, as of tomorrow, Shane winning this one. So, man, it's really weird to me to see Shane take this after all these years later. Like, after all these seasons has been, we're going to Season 8. Season 2's end was when Shane was out of the series. So it's pretty much been 5, full seasons, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then we're going to Season 8, so it'll be 6 pretty soon, next year. And, you've got Shane winning as the all-time best Walking Dead villain. So really strange to me. I've always kind of felt like maybe Shane... I always kind of felt like Shane isn't 100% a villain, because his side of things I think makes a lot of sense, and he doesn't try to kill Rick until after he finds out the baby's his, and this kind of deal, or he suspects that it is, and that it will be raised by Rick. Rick takes over the group from him, so so I guess the intention is he's supposed to be a villain, but he's definitely a villain that you can kind of relate to. You can see his struggle. Like he's such a good villain, I guess, because you can experience his side and feel 100% sympathetic and towards his position, and I think that might be why he's ahead here, and he's beaten Negan and is going to beat the governor now, it looks like. So this one's really strange to me. Me personally, and the way I voted, I voted for Negan as the all-time best villain. I think is Negan. Number 2, I would go with the governor, and then maybe I would go with Shane after that, based on the villain choices they have here from the TV series. And we should say this is TV series, really. It's not really a comic series, because comic series is a lot further on, and the villains have different interpretations, different adaptations than different adaptation than the TV series, the original comic series. So really cool stuff. You guys can write your comments below. Let me know how you feel about this. Do you think Shane is the all-time greatest Walking Dead villain? I wouldn't think so, but man, maybe just because he's more charismatic, because people bought into his story more, they feel more kind of sympathetic towards his side of things and how things were going. If you look at it from Rick's vantage point, I suppose he's an antagonist, he's a villain. But damn, dude, it's just weird to me to see Shane winning this one out so handily over the governor, like over 80% for him, without it even being a competition, really. And also having beaten Negan before. So write those comments below. Let me know what you guys think, and if you guys agree that Shane is the all-time greatest Walking Dead villain. This one's new to me. This is like kind of earth-shattering to me, because I never really thought that you would put Shane ahead of the governor or Negan. But that said, the people have spoken. So yeah, leave them below, guys, and I'm looking forward to going through them and seeing what you guys have to say about Shane being voted as all-time greatest Walking Dead villain. Radical Zed says, Trev, once the Walking Dead main TV show eventually ends, do you think they could still continue to do more spin-offs set in the Walking Dead future? Because I don't think the Walking Dead will end with a cure. I think the apocalypse will still live on or continue. What are your thoughts on this? So yeah, I don't think the cure idea makes sense for the Walking Dead at all. I know Andrew Lincoln has done this kind of joke thing in the interview where he said that eventually he wants him to kind of die, but him to kind of be the cure, that kind of thing, or at least not die from zombie bite. So for me, I don't think that fits with the Walking Dead universe. I think the whole cure idea is too fantastical. It's too kind of unrealistic for the zombie apocalypse, and I don't think it makes sense. And as we've seen recently in the comic book series, it looks to me like that's kind of what we're seeing, is we're seeing a story that's more gritty, close to the heart, more kind of realistic for those characters and life or death situations, and not really something where you'll get some kind of magic cure or something that kind of comes in and somebody ends up being immune or something, so zombies avoid them. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think we'll ever see that kind of cure thing in The Walking Dead at all. Unless that would be like way in the future. I still don't think we'll ever see it, to be honest. I think Kirkman is pretty much against it 100%. As far as the first part of your question goes, once the main TV series ends, do you think they'll continue to do more spin-off series? Similar to Fear the Walking Dead? Well, I think it depends on how the ratings do for Fear the Walking Dead. I'm interested to see this season and season 3 how the show does and where it kind of is at for people. I personally try to make a lot of videos about Fear the Walking Dead and Walking Dead related stuff because I love it so much. Not everybody's into it though, so we'll have to see how Fear continues to do. Can we see Fear getting to like a season 7 or 8? Man, right now, with how people have been reacting after Season 2, I'm really not sure, because there's a lot of hardcore Walking Dead fans that just don't like Fear. They don't watch it. I was talking with one of my friends, and he likes it, but his wife doesn't like it. She's like, I don't care at all, whatever. But she loves Walking Dead. So, it's just one of those things where maybe a lot of people don't want to give it a chance to kind of get into it. And he's trying to talk her into it. He's like, because Walking Dead is great, and this is good too, and it's similar, and you just got to give the characters a chance and stuff. But some people don't want to. So we'll see, man. If the original Walking Dead TV series was to end, I think it'd be pretty hard for them to continue doing a Fear the Walking Dead or something like that if the original series ended, because it would feel like there's nothing to kind of tack it onto. Fear's kind of whole gimmick or its thing is that AMC's producing more Walking Dead for us when the original series is not on. And I appreciate that, and I like that. But if the original series was not on at all, then would people still be into it, or would they drop out entirely? And you guys can also write your comments to this one below as well. I'd almost say, if I was to predict, that I think if it's the way Fear has been last season, that a lot of viewers would just drop out 100% and they'd be like, okay, I'm done with zombie apocalypse horror series like The Walking Dead. If The Walking Dead series ended and fear continued, I think a lot of people would just be like, whatever, I'm done with it, period. So I'd like to think that there'd be enough of us that'd be like, okay, Walking Dead's over, but we still have this to watch. But I almost feel like it would lose so much steam and momentum that people would be like, oh, forget it, it's done. It's done. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with Game of Thrones when Game of Thrones ends and they do the spin-off series that I talked about yesterday. Did a video about them confirming Game of Thrones is getting a spin-off after it ends. So we'll see how people respond to that versus the original series. And I'll let you guys know when we find out, of course, in a couple years. GreekJr ChrisifiX says, Q&A, Trev, do you remember the trunk kill from Season 3? So I absolutely do, Greek Jr., so that was really cool. And that's Daryl Wright with the trunk on the zombie head. I absolutely remember it. I mentioned it in my review that it was an awesome zombie kill. I used to do Zombie Kill of the Week every episode of my reviews and give my thoughts on what was the best zombie kill of the episode. But this season, Season 7, not every episode really has really cool zombie kills. I feel like they're running out of ways to continue to kill off zombies in unique fashion. But granted, the Michonne Rick thing with the slicing in half, that was really cool and that was new and unique. So I did like that. But I definitely remember the trunk kill. That's one of the all-time best, most badass kills in The Walking Dead, no doubt. Paul Lansford says, Trev, Q&A question, got two for you. Are you kind of upset that we never saw Carol have a single scene of interaction in the Season 7 finale with Rick, Michonne, Maggie, Tobin, or some of the others? I still love the episode and still think the Season 7 finale is the best finale Season 7 finale is the best finale as of the start of Season 8. But I was hoping to see some sort of character interaction with Carol and some of the Alexandrians, Hilltopers, that she knew well in the past after not seeing so much of the group in the last season. So that's from Paul. That's a great point, Paul. She didn't see them throughout the entire season for a lot of them. She saw Daryl, but she didn't see Rick. And, she comes to the rescue here, and we didn't even get to see a scene where Tobin's like, so, it was just a fling or whatever. Something like that. I think we need to see something like that where they kind of see Carol next season, maybe in the premiere. Man, there's a lot of stuff going on right now, Walking Dead, right? It's like, I didn't even really remember or notice that she hadn't really saw them for so long. But you're absolutely right that she didn't, and they should really... they should address that. They should show them, kind of seeing Carol again and being happy that she's alive and that they're actually getting to see her in the flesh, that she is, in fact, indeed alive, and just being happy that she is, because I would think that for a while there, they would have thought she was dead. I would think so. You're right, and, I'm not really upset because I feel like they crammed so much into the finale already. There's limits to how much they can get in there. Again, I feel like with Fear of the Walking Dead, for example, and them adding that on, with the original Walking Dead, they're giving us so much. Like, they're giving us as much as they can. They're extending episodes. They're bringing in new characters, new groups. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I feel like they're maximizing Walking Dead as much as they can do. They're giving it to us. So are there things that we'd like to see still? Yeah. But I think they're doing about as much as they can do. Unless you're looking at like 2-hour premieres and finales, I'd be down for it. I don't think they'll do it, but that'd be crazy. But yeah, they're just maximizing it and doing as much as they can. So I appreciate that. And some stuff, unfortunately will be omitted still. But, you're right. That would have been cool to see at least one scene or something with them acknowledging Carol's existence after she saves him. Paul Lansford also said that, am I the only one who wants Heath to not return at all until the Whispers appear and to actually see Scott or Tobin, who are both, maybe take on Heath's comic book role, is what he's saying here. So he doesn't really want Heath to come back right away, and he wants to see Scott or Tobin kind of fill his role in the series. Yeah, that'd be fine, to be honest. Heath is cool to see because he's a comic book character that we're waiting to see for a while, and he appeared in Season 6 there. But to be honest, he never really did that much in the comics, I feel like, or I never felt emotionally that invested in Heath anyway. So for Corey Hawkins has got other opportunities, the actor who plays him, good for him. If they give it to somebody else, I'd be totally fine with that. If he does come back in the Whispers thing, or we get to see his skin or something, that'd be sweet. But I really don't care too much if he's alive or dead at that point. I guess if I had to pick, I'd prefer he'd be alive, but that could be a wicked way to introduce the Whispers, is to show him in some kind of incapacitated or dead, some kind of, use him in some kind of capacity to introduce the Whispers. You can use your imagination for that. There could be some really cool ones. And let's see, next one's from Kyle Cullopy, who says, Trev, who do you think is the best leader for their groups? Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, Rick or Travis? It's pretty easy. I think Rick is a much better leader. He doesn't usually put the group in jeopardy. Travis did there at the end of season 2 to murder those 2 guys, even though it was for his son, and Rick might do something similar if Carl was killed recklessly. Still, I feel like Rick is a better leader. He's tougher. He's better with the gun. He's got more skills for zombie apocalypse survival, and he makes pretty good calls for the most part. I mean, it's a horror series, so they have to kind of always have the characters in some kind of danger. And a few times Rick has been responsible for that because he, of course, is the leader. But I mean, I think he's done the best he can. Travis, I think, is still trying to find himself. So Travis might be comparable to like season 2 Rick or season 3 Rick, when Rick was broken because Lori had been killed and didn't know what was going on. So that'll be it for today's Q&A, guys. I hope you liked it. If you did, write the comments below, want to see them, and thumb this one the hell up. Also, appreciate all your guys' support lately and everything with the channel. Thanks for continuing to watch the video, guys, for thumbing it up, for subscribing. Thank you guys for all your support. Always appreciate it, and I hope you guys have yourselves a great Sunday without any zombie apocalypse goodness on TV. But just know I'm here with you guys, and if you want to watch any of the other videos, did a longer one yesterday, an extended one for the All Out War Explained. So check it out if you guys missed it. So for this one, I'll see you guys again tomorrow. So I was just Trev saying peace. Later, guys. See you tomorrow.